What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm doing my October wrap-up video. I do want to start this video by saying I think this is going to be my last monthly wrap-up video on this channel. Every time month ends comes around, I have no motivation whatsoever into filming this video because it's been so long since I've read the first book in the month that I just never know what to say during my wrap-up, because I either say way too much and this video ends up being like way too long because I have 10 books to talk to you guys about, or I don't say enough on them and I just feel like it doesn't give you any information on the book. I'm just saying if I liked it or not, and I just don't see the point in really doing that. So I do think from now on I'm going to be doing either recent reads, so every like 3 or 4 books I'm gonna come on here and just talk about the last few books that I've read, or mid-month wrap-up. I just feel like it's gonna be way more useful. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a lot more useful for you guys. I'm going to be able to give you more information on the book, and also I'm going to remember a lot more of the book. With that little announcement out of the way, let's get started in my October wrap-up. I did end up reading 8 books this month, a lot of thrillers and horror books. Obviously it was October, but I will say I only read 1 fantasy book, which is I think my lowest ever of fantasy books I've read in a month, and I've only read 2 romance books. So like I said, a lot of thrillers, horrors, but it was October, so hey, it's fine. The first book I want to talk to you guys about is going to be It Happened One Autumn by Lisa Kleypas. This is the second book in the Wallflower series, and I read the first book last month and I really liked it and I thought it was super cute and I wanted to pick up the second book right away, so I did from my library. It was a little bit of a letdown. I still thought it was really cute. I still loved it. I still gave it 2.5 stars. We are following Lillian, which is this American, like super foul-mouthed, super outgoing, out there character, American, who lives in England, and we are following Marcus, West something, I don't remember. We are following Marcus, who is an earl, and it's a hate-to-love romance, a little bit of a love triangle. I thought it was really cute. I really enjoyed them. I really like the characters overall, and I really liked their love story. I thought it was super cute. I didn't really love the love triangle aspect in this book. I thought it was a little bit weird and like unnecessary, I feel like. And also the ending, what the hell was that? It went in a completely different direction and I was just like, what is that? I don't think it was necessary. The ending kind of went downhill for me a lot. I love the setting of the book because they are in this estate in the country. The book is called It Happened One Autumn. It's like perfect. It was really cute. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, but in the end it was a little bit disappointing. But that's it. The next book I want to talk to you guys about is going to be To Sir Philip with Love by Julia Quinn. This is the, I don't know where we are now, like 6th book in the Bridgerton series. This is Eloise's storyline and I really like this one. I loved all of the Bridgerton book so far. I will say this is the first one that wasn't better than the last one, but I think that's just because I love Penelope's character so much. I still really like this book. This is, like I said, following Eloise and Sir Philip, who is a widow. I really like their relationship. I thought it was super cute. I really like Philip story, and I really like these characters. I will say I loved Philip. I love Eloise as well. I love how we talked a lot of her insecurities. Basically this book takes place right after the last book, right after Penelope and Colin gets married, and she is kind of a little bit lonely because she always thought that her and Penelope would grow old together and become spinsters together, but then when her best friends get married, she's left alone, like I said, a little bit lonely, and she wants to find someone. And I really like that little discussion in this book. I really enjoyed Philip's storyline as well. Like I said, he's a widow, he has 2 kids, he's been through a lot. I really like their story. I thought it was really cute. I will say this is also the first book that did not get me hyped for the next book. I think that's one thing that this series did great. It was getting me hyped for the next book, and this didn't really did it for me. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was super cute, super fun, and I mean, I just really like these Bridgerton books. And so I will continue the series, obviously. Next book that I want to talk to you guys about is the only fantasy book that I read this month, and it is Jade War by Fonda Lee. Oh my god, guys, this was really good. I really enjoyed this book. It's a big book. It's how many pages? Like over 500 pages. It's a big book. It's a long book, but I really enjoyed this one. This takes place a year after Jade City, which normally I don't love in book when they do that. I love when books like follow each other right after, but this one did it pretty well. I didn't feel like I missed too much. I will say once again, the first half of the book kind of was a little bit slower pace. The first 40%, maybe 45%, I was kind of not feeling it as much, but then once again something happened in the middle of the book and I flew through the rest of the book. This author does a great job at her ending and getting us excited for the next book. Also, this book took place over several years, like a long period of time, which I did not expect. I don't remember the first book. I felt like the first book was maybe 1 year, maybe not, maybe more than that. I just really liked this book. I remember starting it and it just felt so cozy, almost like being back with these characters and being back in this world. I love the world. I just love it. And also, I don't want to spoil too much. I love also that we got a little bit more information on the rest of the world. I really like this book. I highly recommend it and I cannot wait for the next installment. The next book that I want to talk to you guys about is going to be Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesare. Once again, I really enjoyed this book. I read this book for Halloween. This is a horror slasher YA book. Did I say that correctly? This is a YA horror slasher book and I really liked it. It was super fun. It's about this girl named Quinn Maybrook who moves in this small town where she quickly realized that things between the adult and the younger people are kind of weird. The relationship between them is kind of weird, and so she quickly becomes friends with this group of people, with this group of kids who are doing these like pranks on these adults, and like I said, adults are not loving it. And then one day there's this event in this town and then the clowns are coming and things are creepy and things are going down. And I really liked this book. I thought it was super fun, super, like, it got creepy at some point, even though this is YA. It got a little bit creepy at some point and it got a little bit disturbing, and I got a little bit scared in this book because, I mean, clowns are killing people. So, you know, it's a horror book. We clearly have in this book kind of the like younger crowds against the older people in this book, and I feel like it's kind of a discussion on the older generation not necessarily understanding everything from the younger generation and are being scared of changes and, you know, new technology and everything. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really cool. I will check out more of this author's books in the future. Really fun book. Nothing crazy, nothing groundbreaking, but I really enjoyed it. So I was happy I read it for October. The next 3 books I want to talk to you guys about, I'm gonna go super quickly over them because I do have a reading log on them, and it is going to be 56 Days, The Other Black Girl, and The Wife Upstairs. I read all of these books because I was trying to read the books that I didn't get a chance to read this year for the BookTube book club that is run by Gabby Reads. I loved all of these books. Honestly, I was surprised. I really enjoyed 56 Days. This surprised me so much. This is a COVID related thriller. It's about this couple who meets right before quarantine, and then quarantine hits and they decide to do quarantine together. But then today one of them is found out dead and we don't know who it is, we don't know what happened, and this book gripped me from the start and I really like this one and it surprised me. I will say this is not for everyone. I would not recommend this book for everyone because this hits close to home for us, obviously, because I mean we're still in COVID. I mean, it's still happening, so I would maybe not read it if you're on the fence, but if it's something that you're interested in, I would highly recommend this one. I loved it. The Other Black Girl, once again, I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was really cool. It's not so much of a thriller. This is a lot more like a mystery book with a discussion on racism and, you know, what it is for black people to work in a mostly white environment. It's about this girl who works at this place where she's the only black girl, but then one day a new girl comes in and she is also black and she's the other black girl, but then she gets a note on her desk that says leave this place where she works, and she's trying to discover who wrote that to her, what happened, why did she receive that. This is more of a mystery book with a discussion on racism, a lot more than a thriller, which it was good. It was just wasn't a thriller in my opinion. So yeah. And then the last book that I read for this vlog was The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. This was super surprising as well. I ended up really liking it. This is a Jane Eyre retelling. It's about this girl who walks dogs in this really rich neighborhood, and then one day she meets this guy, and he hires her to walk his dog, even though he doesn't have a dog yet. And it's, like I said, it's a Jane Eyre retelling, which made for the twist and turn not to be as surprising as maybe it should have been or would have been if it wasn't a Jane Eyre retelling. It's pretty close to the original story, so it made for a less surprising book, like I said, but I still really enjoyed this one. I still thought it was really fun, and I read it super quickly. I mean, Rachel Hawkins is, I think, a really good author, so that helps a lot. I would be really interested in reading some other thrillers from her, but that are not retelling. I think that would be really cool. And then the last book that I want to talk to you guys about is going to be The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I read this for Camp Weekend Ween Readathon, and I really like this one. This is about this girl who years ago she went to this camp, and then these 3 girls end up missing, and then years after she goes back to this camp and she's kind of reliving everything. It kind of got a little bit confusing at some point because we're following a dual timeline, because we're following her in the present, but we're also following her when she was at the camp the first time. But there's also memories of her, like she isn't in the present, but she's remembering things from the first time she was at camp, so it got a little bit confusing, I will be honest with you, but it's pretty easy to follow. It wasn't that big of a deal. This is classic Riley Sager, where the twist, there's like a double twist in the end, where there's a twist and then another twist, and I thought it was really fun. I did not see it coming. So that was really cool. I ended up really liking it. That's it, guys. Those were all of the books that I read in the month of October. Have you read any of these? I would love to know in the comments down below what were your thoughts on them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night depending on when you're watching this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.